guess Ava didn't make it after all.
There's a high price to pay for all of this.
We have to focus on what comes after.
You were born for these sorts of games.
When will it stop?
You'll see.
What's gonna happen?
A purge. The world will be returned. Let's get started.
I'm the piece that was taken away, and you're the piece needed to be whole again.
There's one sky, one destiny.
This'll take all my heart
Off my chair, Jester. The king sits there.
Alright, the mysterious black box first revealed in Kingdom Hearts Key back cover has eluded fans the world over, and its content to this day has apparently remained a mystery. Yozora, a mysterious entity that has gained instant infamy within the lore and fandom of Kingdom Hearts, whose own secrets rival that of the black box. While the box itself is tied to that of Lushu, otherwise known as Xigbar, and of course, the Master of Masters, the truth of this box may well be tied to another Keyblade Master, one of the foretellers, as well as the other mysterious entity we spoke of, that will bring everything you know about the Kingdom Hearts series, the box, the power of waking, and the Master of Masters, and even the universe together, and set up the events in a perspective you never knew. Because the answer of the box doesn't lie with the Master, it doesn't lie with Lushu, it lies with Ava and Yozora, with their fate tied to the worlds and even the universe of Kingdom Hearts as we know it, and how Sora will face the truth on the Master's plans, and how he is connected to the night sky. Hey guys, it's HMK here with another huge Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMind theory that will quite literally set the stage for everything to go down with the series moving forward and the context to how we got here. But on the other side of the coin, or I should say, card. As always, strap on in, there's going to be another wild ride. Let's remind ourselves of a time past and dive directly into the darkness. Now this is super important. This gigantic theory is designed to be a third part to two previous theories I've released, known as the Power of Waking trilogy. Part 1 is the price of the power of waking. Part 2 is the Gambler of Fate and the Master of Masters. Thank you all so much for such an awesome reception to those two videos. If you guys haven't had the chance to see those videos, please give them a watch before you continue this one. They've got a ton of awesome context that will make sense of everything you are about to see, especially since we're going to complete everything on how Kingdom Hearts can move forward from what has been established in the past, with Yozora and Ava being the biggest playmakers. Ready? Alright, let's begin. Within the lore of Kingdom Hearts, it is often believed that the worlds began in darkness, and from that darkness came light. From the light came the people, and the people had hearts. The world was born within darkness, but thanks to Kingdom Hearts, the first light and the true source of hearts, the world, the universe, had light. But darkness always existed. It is this darkness that eventually swallowed the world and destroyed everything in the climax of the ancient Keyblade War. However, after the war was over, the universe was rebuilt and the world was made into separate smaller worlds thanks to the light within the hearts of children. While this seems like a pretty straightforward answer, there were many aspects of context relating to the war, the light and the darkness, and the fate of the worlds along with the pervading universe that has yet to be seen. But this fate and faith has been directly tied to the power of waking, the consequences of using such a power, and the design of the Master of Masters that date back to a time not recorded within the Book of Prophecies, and the true start of what we call the Keyblade Wars. It is to this end that Sora's fate at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 and going into the scenario of ReMind brings him into contact with this mysterious imagining of Shibuya, as well as having him meet with Yozora. It will be this moment in time that will pave the way for what I will call the ReMind saga of Kingdom Hearts, as Yozora will be the key to remind us of a time long past and gear us for a deceptive future. This all ties to the box, Master Ava of the Foretellers, and even the Master of Masters. It is revealed within Kingdom Hearts Union Cross that Ava courted the idea of challenging the Master of Masters' Book of Prophecies in order to avert a fate that she refused to accept as absolute: the Keyblade Wars and the destruction of everything. While she followed the Master's instructions of gathering the dandelions so that they may carry on the fate of the world after the darkness swallowed everything into oblivion, this was not enough. Ava tried to change the fate of the world and the future in two ways. First, by coming into contact with Luxu and trying to stop him, believing him to be the catalyst to the war, and then again, for if the war proceeded, by enlisting Brain, so that another would never take place. However, these two attempts would end in failure, as the clash between Ava and Luxu acted as the bell toll to begin the war, and although Brain has tried his hardest, another war would eventually be sparked by Xehanort. However, it is eventually revealed to a great degree how the Keyblade Wars originated and the purpose of the light that will endure when the darkness falls. As it turns out, the Keyblade Wars have existed long before the two instances we've seen, and that, in its purest form, it is the war between light and darkness, as stated by the Master of Masters from the time that he was a boy, and that the Keyblade War during the time of Union Cross may finally be the clash to end the wars, as he believed the destruction of the world and its eventual rebirth to how we know it will finally give it a pause. With this, we theorize on two very important aspects for this revelation: that the Master of Masters wanted to ensure the complete end of the wars by following through with destiny, and that the Keyblade War of his time would end it by erasing all that is and starting over, focusing on what comes after his universe. That was his ultimate goal, a goal that is shown to be shared with Xehanort, who wanted to use the first light to reset the universe and start anew, as the world had been plagued with a vast darkness. That is the true goal for those who wish to wage the Keyblade War, so that they may unlock the truth of the light to start anew when the darkness had become a plague in their universe. And this is where the box comes into play. The box is incredibly important to these advents. There is a reason why the Master of Masters is so protective of the box and tells Luxu to hide it away, as he knows there will be those that seek the box, such as Luxord. But what is in the box, and how does this tie to Ava and the future of Kingdom Hearts? Well, I've said it before, the box contains what looks to be a distorted version of Shibuya, and those who would tamper with the Order of Time and its fate, or would try to, will be sent to this confinement. As with the price of the power of waking, using it to rewrite time, and with Ava trying to defy design. And that is why Ava didn't make it after all. She too has suffered a fate similar to that of Sora. She too is within the box. The Master of Masters knew that people like Luxord would want to go for the box, and that is why he tasked Luxu to hide it. And the Master knew there are those as well trying to avert the fate dictated by the Book of Prophecies, and thus tests the limits of his followers with the hiding of the box and to see who would try to avoid the Keyblade War. And, as revealed in Union Cross, those limits were tested with Ava, who sought to disobey her master, which will finally reveal and confirm her to be the traitor, as she has taken legitimate steps to try and avert her master's writings within the Book of Prophecies, something the Master of Masters has specifically shown to actively avoid by not giving Luxu a Book of Prophecies. Although Ava has disobeyed her master and has paid the price to be sealed within the box, she is still devoted to the master, and with her personality, she will feel that it was her that was in the wrong, and would explain why her piece of the chessboard will still stand with the other foretellers, Luxu and the Master of Masters. With that being said, however, the box and its contents are actually much more than that. This ties everything together into the future of Kingdom Hearts, along with the past we must be reminded of. Now this is where we get deep into the darkness. Open your mind and your heart. There has been talk and theories about Yozora being an alternate version or an anti-version of Sora, but that is only one part of the puzzle. Yozora, in reality, is a past version of Sora from a past universe. But why is he a past version of Sora? Because there is one sky, one destiny. This is the secret finally revealed by this quote. Yozora and Sora, they are the one sky. Different times of the sky, but still the same sky. One big sky. And this one destiny is the destiny they must face when their universe is at risk of being reset by the war between the light and darkness. This is how they are connected. They are the same person, but from a different time in a different universe. Yozora is the previous Sora and survivor of a previous universe that had fallen to the Keyblade Wars, the battle between light and darkness. His universe was consumed and reset, and that he is one of the only survivors, and that is why Shibuya is within the box. The black box contains remnants of worlds and universes that has been previously reset by the Keyblade Wars. They are reminders of what had happened before each renewal. That is why he is in Shibuya within the box, looking over Sora and Riku. And that is also how Yozora is able to make it to the final world. As a survivor of a previously reset and destroyed universe, he is able to travel to the final world, the place where hearts and everything go before taking their eternal rest. And this is how he comes into contact with Sora in the ReMind scenario. The eradication of Yozora's previous universe is even highlighted in the Verum-Rex video game packaging with the tagline, "A journey without a place to return." Yozora has no place to return to, as his home, a previous world and universe, had been obliterated. But his name in relation to Sora can suggest how far back Yozora is as a past Sora. Yozora's name means night sky, while Sora's name is Sky. As with the legend of everything within Kingdom Hearts, the world began in darkness, and the night sky is the sky at its darkest. This could mean Yozora and his universe could have been the first universe to be reset by the Keyblade Wars, and that his universe existed before even that of the universe in Union Cross, otherwise known as the Age of Fairy Tales. And this could mean that there is another Sora that existed during the time of Union Cross and was there before the universe was reset. Let's think about that for a little bit. What comes after Night Sky and before Sky? Wouldn't it be dawn, or rather daybreak? And who is the one that established dominion over a place called Daybreak Town? That's right, everyone was thinking it, the Master of Masters. People have constantly tried to figure out a connection between the Master of Masters and Sora and even Yozora, but I may have found it. As stated before, the Master of Masters watches over Daybreak Town, in which daybreak is the next time of day that the sky becomes after night sky and before that of sky, thus acting as a version of Sora that is after Yozora and before Sora himself. But there is even more evidence. The Master of Masters has 6 apprentices, where all of their names have derived from Latin translations and interpretations of the 7 deadly sins. Lushu being lust, Gula being gluttony, Envy being envy, Ira being wrath, Ased being sloth, and Ava being greed. And that leaves one sin left, and that is pride, and pride's Latin translation is superbia. But that doesn't end. There is a connection between the Master of Masters, Yozora, and Sora within that name. While superbia does mean pride in Latin, it is only part of that name that is inscribed on the black box that connects everything. On the box, it is written Key Super, not Key Superbia. The word super, when translated from Latin and from the deriving word of supra, means above. And what is above us all? Everyone in the worlds and the universe? The sky. One destiny. And that is how the Master of Masters is connected to the sky, He, along with Yozora, are past versions of Sora from previous universes that were reset thanks to the Keyblade Wars, and that is why Sora's actions act as an anomaly to the Master of Masters and everyone else in the Kingdom Hearts universe. It is because Sora is a following version of the Master of Masters. That is why the Master of Masters couldn't see, plan, or stop Sora from rewriting what is dictated in the Book of Prophecies, and that is why the likes of Xehanort didn't realize that Sora would be such an adversary, as they coined him as a dull, ordinary boy, because although he is, his previous versions were something great, and that is why they're all connected under one sky, one destiny, and that is why Sora, Yozora, and the Master of Masters were all together in the Yozora Secret movie, because they are all the same people but from different points in a universal time. And the Kingdom Hearts series will aim to remind us of that with the ReMind saga of Kingdom Hearts. That is what I feel the next saga will be after the Dark Seeker saga. After all, Yozora and Sora both say that they have been having strange thoughts lately, like, is any of this for real or not? Probably because they have seen the same visions. With Yozora, however, his inclusion in all of this is much bigger and more poetic than what you could imagine, as Yozora is seeking to reclaim his heart, as tagged in Verum Rex. This journey of reclamation is a story that is much bigger than that of Kingdom Hearts and transcends even that of multiple series. Yozora's entire being is that of return, reclamation, and redemption. Yozora and Sora are one and the same, just from different times. Their hearts are one, and Yozora seeks to reclaim that. But we see Yozora as he is. He is not truly whole, and his heart is not the only thing that has to be reclaimed. Yozora is not only the survivor of a universe long lost as a casualty between the light and darkness, he is also the survivor and the remnants of another being, of an idea, Noctis Lucius Kylum, his true original self from the mind of Tetsuya Nomura. With the creation of Yozora, his looks, his themes, and his very name is plain to see that is derived from that of Noctis from Final Fantasy XV, or rather, should I say originally, Final Fantasy Versus 13. The true poetry of Yozora at its core and his contact with Kingdom Hearts is that in Nomura's mind, the universal purge and reset is very much real for Yozora, as he is the surviving remnants of Noctis' original self and Nomura's original ideas for Final Fantasy Versus 13 that was long lost when it eventually became Final Fantasy 15. Although Nomura doesn't want to or outright confirm this connection between that of Verum Rex and Final Fantasy Versus 13, he does say this in the Kingdom Hearts 3 Ultimania that connects and concerns the two. There are parts of the unreleased project that have been cooking along inside me, so there's a chance that I may have some overlap of ideas. With Nomura, the original intent of Noctis was reset, and Yozora is the remnant that survived from that idea, to remind us of who he was meant to be and what was lost, just like what was lost for Yozora himself within the story of Kingdom Hearts. As Noctis seeks to reclaim his throne, Yozora seeks to reclaim his heart. These two elements are tied together and connected to that of Sora, as if Yozora is a past version of Sora, his contact with his following self could lead to Yozora's journey to try and reclaim what is rightfully his, Sora's heart, an extension, his rightful place in the world. As Sora and Yozora are complete creations of Tetsuya Nomura in design and personality, while the original aspect and intent of Noctis was created by Tetsuya Nomura for Final Fantasy Versus 13 before evolving into what he became for Final Fantasy 15, gaining the tagline and notion of reclaiming his throne, as Nomura originally created and named Noctis to be the polar opposite of Sora, as Noctis Kylum translates to night sky from Latin. Yozora carries on that legacy of naming conventions due to Yozora translating to night sky from Japanese, and that Yozora is reclaiming his original place in Nomura's heart. This is Yozora's true legacy and his purpose coming into contact with Sora and the Kingdom Hearts series through Verum Rex. And due to Sora and Yozora being one and the same, it gives truth to the chessboard of the new game between Xehanort and Ericus, and Sora's symbol as king, as the new game features 7 black pieces against a single white piece defined by Sora's crown. That doesn't mean Sora will be alone. Since Sora and Yozora are one and the same, this crowned piece represents Sora, all of Sora, that one sky. That piece defines and represents both Sora and Yozora, with Yozora being the original one true king. And that altogether, these characters and concepts, they make up the one true sky. This is what Nomura has set up for the future of Kingdom Hearts. This is the end game goal of the Master of Masters and the truth behind the Keyblade Wars between light and darkness, to reset each universe in an attempt to completely wipe clean of the darkness and end the war, no matter what is lost. And since Sora changed fate and stopped the next reset that Xehanort attempted to bring, thus being an anomaly in the Master's design as told by the Book of Prophecies, and that is why Sora must stand against him, Lushu, and the Foretellers, as he is in their way of another attempt to truly end the wars. And those that have stood against this design in the past and in the future, whether it be Yozora, Ava, Luxord, and Sora, they are the ones that have truly awakened to this purpose. They have awakened to see what they must stand up against. But with this waking, they each must pay a price. And that, all of this, all that has been, and all that is meant to be, is the true price of the power of waking. And that this new saga of Kingdom Hearts is set to remind us of all of that, to remind us of what was, to show us the reminders of what was lost within the box, and to begin the ReMind saga of Kingdom Hearts with Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMind, in order to remind us what the price is of all of this. What do you think of the price and Yozora now? Be sure to leave a comment if you enjoyed the video, and what did you think about this prospect? Keep the conversation going by sharing up the video and hitting that like button. I hope you guys enjoyed part 3. Big thanks to my Patreon supporters for help making this video happen. If you want to find out how you can support HMK for just $1 a month, please check out my Patreon page. Alright guys, until the next part, this has been HMK, and don't forget to remind yourself of what the price is. I'll check you guys later.
So you haven't subscribed to HMK yet? Don't piss Xemnas off.